Hey, Mike, here in infrared. This is the other video that connects to the visual or visible light video I just did explaining the unit. Up the top left there, you can see that bright condenser and compressor pumping out heat. Down below, you can see that warm item. It's the vacuum pump that was shut off 90 minutes ago. And to the right, the cold item there is the bottle of R124 that cooled down as I pulled 5 pounds out of it. Getting a little bit closer here. Of course, the color scheme is going to change a little bit, but you can still see the range and the general temperature difference. The compressor shell being a few degrees warmer than the condenser coils. Of course, this thing is white, so the emissivity here is not exactly ideal for this, but it definitely does respond in infrared pretty well. Here you can see the control. You sort of focus that in a little bit. The most noticeable thing there is off to the right is that little piece of wire that is conducting the current for the run winding on the compressor, I presume. And if that gets too warm, it will deflect that bimetallic strip. It is very near the edge of the on switch over there, which does make me a little nervous. It's not pulling a lot of current right now. We're at 163 watts. That's including the heater. So I'm thinking that will need to be adjusted because we did mess with that screw a little bit whenever we were first had the initial problems with this. You can see there is a little bit of current still passing just to the left there. That's the solenoid for the run or for the start winding. And let's see if there's any noticeable heat in any of the wiring there. I don't really see anything to... this dark region here, this is unpainted copper, so it's just reflecting some of the lower temperature of the area here. So once that gets painted up, you'll see, and then this is gray here, so it's a little bit different emissivity. It's emitting heat probably a little better than the copper is in the spectrum that we're looking at, so that the camera can pick it up. You can see the low side float here is rather warm. It's slightly warm. And then this is all chrome and stuff here, so that's the gauge is not going to show temperature very well, or its actual temperature. Let's go ahead and open up the door. And then immediately you can see the evaporator is rather cool. There is a layer of frost on it, so that it's going to screw with the infrared a little bit there. And these water bottles were pulled out of the garage fridge, so they were already cool. I do want to give the fridge some kind of a load, but I only have a few hours to do this. Let's see here if you can see there it is right there. That's the line coming down out of the low side float. So just above that few inches would be where the orifice is and the initial expansion occurring. Probably can't really get a shot of the back of the evaporator, so I'm not even going to try. And then towards the front, right there, that is the suction line. So that's still bare copper, so that's not going to register very well. There is some epoxy below that. That's that wider area to reinforce slightly corroded junction between the copper line and the enameled steel. So it is a little cool. Very cool. So it's nice and frosty on the side there, a little more condensation towards the top. I'm pretty confident I'm going to be adding a little more. Still at a little above 50 degrees in the cabinet, but it hasn't been running for very long. Yeah, there's my footprints. Aha. So, anyway, it's a nice warm day out here. It's about, it's getting into the high 70s in the garage here. I'm not too concerned about charging this in these temperatures. I think it's probably better than if it were 40 degrees in here. So I'm going to keep moving on this, and I may or may not make another video if that evaporator improves significantly. Let's just get one more cool shot of the condenser, because it is cool. See this very hot spot right here? The discharge off the top of the compressor. So that's registering at about 40, 44, 45 C. A little bit cooler there when I pull my hand off. I pull some of that heat out. Didn't register that well. Oh, and one last thing, it's pretty neat. If you look back in there, if I can focus it a little bit, that's the heater. It's an oil conditioner. And of course the bottom of the bell is pretty warm, but you can definitely see a significant hot spot. And it's about 15 watts is what this one pulls, and that helps to drive any refrigerant that's in the oil out. With this different refrigerant and oil combination, it might not even be as necessary, but we're not going to take that chance. This unit was engineered to have an oil heater, and I think it's a great idea. So there's a relatively new heater in there. Okay, thanks for watching.